Everybody, it's Jeremy. Welcome back to the Slowest WAAAGH, where we are playing Tzeentch. It's turn 25, and this is a pretty big one for us. We've got a lot going on. Our first war begins. Fingers crossed that it doesn't go absolutely horribly. Let's see how it goes. So we have completed Enchantment 5, which was our big go-to. We've also popped Alteration 1 and 2 just for some quick additional buffs. And then we're heading into Thaumaturgy 4. We did have 2 thrones get claimed this turn. Throne of Bureaucracy claimed by Nehekara. And the Crystal Throne claimed by Itza. So that's pretty interesting. We did a little bit of site searching, Dark Knowledge, At the End of the Rainbow, Arcane Probing, Haruspex. Didn't find anything. We've got proclamations from Bone Nose and Middenheim. Same turn. Interesting. We've got attacks. Let's go. It's Uric Valkor. So this is just primarily a raiding party. A fair amount of Marauders, some Chaos Warhounds, and a smattering of other troops. We've got some Archers mixed in here. We've got a few Chaos Warriors mixed in here. We've got some Bear Tribe mixed in here. And specifically, the big ticket item is these Chaos Knights. We are up against pretty much nothing. So let's watch as the Chaos Knights and the Chaos Warhounds come and murder these poor Imperial troops. Oh, load, they coming. Oh, look at how big the Chaos Warhounds are. Like, I forget, they're size 3. They're as big as a human is. They are massive. Oh, God. Yep, that's a lot of death. Alright, sweet. Kill them all. Very cool. Rick Balcor, we lose 3 Chaos Warhounds. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. We love to see it. Bushford. Now, Bushford is the majority of our forces. We've got a large line of Chosen Warriors. We've got a shit ton of Marauder Horsemen. We've got a fair number of Wolf Tribe. We've got a smattering of Marauders and a few Trolls. We've got a bunch of Griffins. We've got a bunch of Chaos Warriors on one side. Few Chaos Knights on the other side. And we are up against a decent amount of PD and some wolves. A fair amount of wolves there for some reason. The wolves are not going to have a good time. The Griffins, this is the downside of Griffins, of course, right? Is that Griffins are undisciplined, so they're just going to fly at your enemy. You're not going to be able to give them any directions. How many did we lose? We lost 2 Griffins, right? Immediately losing 2 Griffins. Not what we want to do. It can be good to, like, bring Griffins in behind your unit. If you're using them primarily for siege strength, which is really what we're trying to use them for. 20 Griffins at 5 siege strength is pretty fucking good. So that helps a lot when you're trying to pop forts. But we're probably going to lose a fair amount of them before we actually get to a fort. Anyways, we killed some PD, but we also got a little posse of wolves and a state captain. So that's pretty nice. We also attacked in Stonegrave Mountains. This is more Marauders, more Chaos Warhounds, a little bit of PD, no big deal. Chaos Warhounds go in, and they kill the thing. Very nice. 3 Chaos Warhounds down, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. We get to see a couple of other battles. We've got Bretonnia versus, this is Black Crag. We get to see a little bit of what's going on with Bretonnia. That was a Duke's ability, I believe. Yes, so there is a Duke. Where are you at? Is it you? Might be you. Alternative. I think it's Armand. Cast Aerofend on battle start. So the Duke of Aquitaine just straight up casts Aerofend at the beginning of a battle. That's very good. Aerofend is what? That's like a 6th level spell or something like that. Anyways, very good unit. Kinda to be protected. I would say we've got some Knights of the Realm here. We've got some Knights Errant. Got a smattering of Yeomen. And we got some Grail Knights here in the back. Doing the protecting. And they are up against a solid nothing. We didn't get to see much out of Black Crag, but we get to see a little bit of what's going on with Bretonnia, which is kind of cool. We get to see a battle between Bone Nose Tribe and Middenheim. It's a scout from Bone Nose Tribe. It's a bunch of PD from Middenheim. Never mind. Absolutely never mind. We attacked Gwellendon because it was taken over by AI last turn. There's just a couple of dogs and some black dogs here. We've got some marauders coming in to do the work. Chop. Chop. Oh, poor doggies. We kill them, and then Middenheim tries to take it back. Got a small amount. We've got a warrior priest of Ulrich here. So these guys are kind of interesting. And then we've got a couple of free infantry. So they're all on Guard Commander. And so he's casting Ulrich's Fury, which gives Battle Fury, which is attack 2, morale 2, which is kind of neat, right? It does, you know, it does improve the free infantry to have better attack skill, but I don't know. Even if this was up against 1 PD, yeah, sure, you got this. If this is up against 6 PD, I don't know that this works. And it's not. It's up against a bunch of marauders, so it absolutely doesn't work. Well, I mean, they killed 3 marauders, so maybe it would work against 6 PD. Probably. All right. Anyways, that went pretty decent for us. No big squishes, right? We didn't accidentally catch any Middenheim armies out and squish them, and in converse, right? We also did not accidentally bump into some big Middenheim army and get squished. So that's nice. So the initial foray seems like it's going well. That's good. Other big things that happen for us this turn. We do have an event in Valcoria where we get some increased taxes and province income, etc., etc. But the bigger thing is we have unlocked the first gate. With unlocking the gate, we get you're always going to get some gems. You're always going to get a magic item, right? The magic site found is just going to be the upgrade of the gate into a gem producer, right? Which I don't think technically happens the first time. I think we have to unlock the second gate. Anyways, we get 4 astral pearls. We get an enchanted sword. Nice. Not crazy, but nice. But now we have unlocked the first gate. So we got 3 blue horrors this turn. Every turn going forward, we are going to get 1d3 blue horrors. It's not a lot. It's not a lot. It will add up over time. It will add up over time, especially as we unlock more gates and we start to get 2d3 blue horrors, 1d3 pink horrors, etc., etc., right? This is never going to be a scenario where it's like, he's mass-producing armies every turn. But if you get into the high gates like, 7, 8, that type of scenario, you'll get kind of like a free army-ish every 10 turns, right? That type of scenario. It's nice. Not the end of the world, but it's nice. First gate unlocked. We have 26 more secrets to the next gate. Very good. Unexpected event in Dreher Caverns. We get a lab, which is very interesting. We get Astral, Death, Nature, and Glamour Pearls, and we get a Banefire crossbow, which is kind of cool. And then in Ard, we get 805 gold. Fuck yeah. We get Enchanted Barding and an Eye Shield. We're getting a lot of random items, which is kind of neat. Our Scout discovers a big-ass fucking army in Ophaleth, and our Acolyte has died from a disease. That's a problem. That's a problem. Fuck. So we saw previously Bone Nose Tribe had that pretty big stack, right? And we're really hoping, hey, hopefully Bone Nose and Middenheim want to fight it out, want to try to finish this war, fight it out, and smash into each other. That did not happen, but there is a very large Middenheim army here now. So, yikes. We'll see how it goes. What the fuck are we doing this turn? Let's talk about recruitment stuff real quick, because that's mostly typical. We're continuing to do, basic site searching. We are recruiting acolytes everywhere, right? We really want to start pouring our gold into acolytes. The great thing about acolytes is they're always going to be useful. They are a good research mage that is also a good combat mage, and that's fantastic. Because they are astral, right? Every one of them is astral. You're always going to be able to produce good-sized communions, and even if you don't have sorcerers or sorcerer lords, you can throw, 8 acolytes into a communion, and then all of a sudden you've got +3 on a bunch of people, on a bunch of other acolytes, and those acolytes can actually do plenty of decent things, right? So we really want to start investing in that and take advantage of both the research speed from them, but also the future combat power from them. So we're doing that, except in our capital where we are getting another Sorcerer Lord. We're trying to kind of fish for things like trying to kind of fish for things like water or earth or blood and various kind of like cross paths, right? I think right now we have one earth. We'll talk about this in just a second. We don't have a water, I believe, is the other thing. And we also want... What is it? It's... Oh no, that's on Sorcerer Lords. We're really wanting a 3 glamour Sorcerer Lord, but that's not now. So we're kind of looking for a water sorcerer, right? Trying to see if we can fish one of those out. Getting some more Chosen Warriors, more Marauder Horsemen, some Chaos Warriors down south, more Berserkers and Warhounds up north. We're getting more Marauders over here in Brightwood, more Horse Archers in Traveler's Rest. A large portion of our money this turn is going to upgrading Sirmiok, right? So we've been kind of trying to focus more in on producing units. The war has begun. We're still producing units, but we're focused less on producing units now. We want to get some of our fortifications built up. Castle going up in Sirmiok. So we'll see how that actually goes. Okay, let's talk about this one first. We've got an empowerment going on in Tzeentch on one of our sorcerers. This is a little hasty. I probably would have preferred to wait until we got a Sorcerer Lord and rolled a Earth and then empowered. The thing is Sorcerer Lords are incredibly expensive. They're great. They're absolutely fantastic. And while their initial upfront price is super, super hard, because of them being sacred, obviously this is still very high, but it's manageable, and they do some really, really good things for their price, right? So, we're probably going to want a lot of these, but we're going to want a lot of these later. So why not pull the trigger now, right? So we're going to empower on a sorcerer. This is going to give us Earth 2. Earth 2 does give us a couple of different options for various things, right? But realistically, we're going to pop into Thaumaturgy 4, right? And we're going to start spamming out Gnome Lore. And we're going to cross our fingers and hope that we get enough of an income that we can do things like empower Chaos or Sorcerer Lords in the future, or empower other things in the future so that we can actually tech up in Earth, right? So that we can get some Earth boosters. Earth 2, right? Obviously, you can get Earth boots. But I will say one of the issues that we have here is that we can't get Earth and Blood. They're on the same random. So we don't get the Earth Blood cross path, which is a little annoying. Of course, when we start blood hunting, we can just empower anybody who has Earth and go from there. It's not that big of a deal, but it is something to kind of like keep in mind. Anyways, we're going to empower. We will have Thaumaturgy 4 next turn. Thaumaturgy 4 is going to get us both Auspex and Gnome Lore. We have... we have Village, which is a Air 2, so he can Auspex for us. We'll have a Earth 2 that we can Gnome Lore. Depending on what we get with this, right, we could get another Air 2 to do more Auspex, but, you know, we'll see. And we got a couple of different options kind of like up in the air there, right? So, fingers crossed. Hopefully that's going to go well. This is, again, still playing very, very greedy, right? We are spending a shit ton of gems, site searching all over the place. However, generally speaking, I think our income is pretty good, right? We've been doing pretty decent across the board. I do think... So fire, we've been great at. I'm very excited about that. I am disappointed in our astral. We've covered basically all or almost all of our territory so far, site searching for astral, and we've gotten very little of it. We do still... No, we've done a pretty good job of site searching for priests. Well, it is what it is, right? So fingers crossed that changes when we get into Middenheim territory, but who knows? All right, we have talked about random shit for too long. Let's talk about the actual fighting. Fuck. This army in Ophaleth worries me, because he absolutely could just be like, okay, well, fine, fuck you. Right on to Namor. And we're not going to be able to fight him. We've got some units there, but not enough to face off against that big of an army. Where's it at? It's this one. Right, so 316 units. Fair amount of mages. Probably this is the majority of... Maybe not the majority. No, right? Like, this is 8... 9, 10, 11 mages. None of these are slow to recruit mages, I believe. But I mean, that's a lot of fucking mages rolling around with this. We know with his Amber Wizards he's doing a fair amount of group Barkskin, but we don't know that he has anything else really, right? Unfortunately, like I don't think we're gonna see. Maybe we will. Ulrich's Fury, Quickness, Group Blur, Body Ethereal, Group Barkskin, Quickness, Group Barkskin, Barkskin, not Group Barkskin. Yes. Ooh, they've got some gems. Okay, so he's got stuff in the tank, and that is scary. If we had our big army, versus this big army, even then I would be a little concerned. I think we would win. I think flaming arrows would do the trick. If for only because I think our guys can stand against his knights long enough to butcher everything else and then kill enough knights, right? But I think it would be very not pretty, right? So that is a big concern. So we're kind of abandoning Namor. It's a scenario of if he decides to move his army on there, us having this fucking 88 stack is not going to do anything, right? It's a 200 wall integrity. We're not going to hold it. It's going to pop instantly, right? If he moves here, well, this little stack is squished anyways. Who gives a shit? If he moves here, well, that sucks, right? He will cut us off and he'll squish this whole thing, right? That is the bad move for us. It would be a very aggressive, very punitive move for him. So we're hoping that he doesn't do that. I'm hoping that he doesn't go for me / Namor at all. I'm hoping he either continues to fight Bone Nose, hoping that he can defend his capital with forces around his capital, or I'm hoping that he pulls this back to his capital. But in the case that he does go for Namor, we're going to try to move out of it, collect our units here. That way we can actually use them for something else, because if he goes for Namor, there's no saving it at this current point in time, right? Gonna attack into Opalev just to see. Presumably he's not gonna stick around there, so we might as well try to raid it and take it. Not gonna go to Ku here because that's very close to Bone Nose, and we're not trying to piss off Bone Nose. Also, it's a wasteland. Over on the west side, we're just gonna keep striking towards Middenheim, right? Now, this obviously poses some issues. This stack is not an especially strong stack. If he marches something out of Middenheim into Faldenberg, he will probably pop it, and that'll be that. So this is a pretty greedy, aggressive move. The issue is if we go anywhere else, we're just wasting time, right? So if he checks us here, he's gonna kill us. It is what it is. This is just a force to conquer provinces and then maybe reinforce something else. If we lose it, we're not gonna be happy, but we're not gonna be super sad. Osens is where the action is. We've got over 300 troops here. We've seen what is going on here. We're combining forces from Stonegraves. We are sneaking in some gear potentially to utilize on our Exalted Hero, probably. And we have some gems floating around. So, our Hero Phlegaton does have a Flaming Arrows cast up. He is on conservative magic gem usage, so hopefully he doesn't get baited. Obviously, we would prefer to only show that we're casting this in a big battle, but at this point, seeing this many archers, both the Wolf Tribe and the Marauder Horse Archers, right? And seeing a Fire 3 with a gem on them is a big indicator of like, oh, he's gonna Flaming Arrows me. So the cat's out of the bag. There's not really any secret here. It is what it is. Osens puts his capital in check. We are trying to keep an eye around his capital for other forces to see what is going on. We want to try to understand what happens with this army and where it goes. And that's pretty much it. That's the turn. We've got a lot going on, but it's all still very much up in the air. If Middenheim... So my assumption is that this is the majority of Middenheim's forces at this point, right? 29 White Wolf Knights, 6 Tutijin Guards, right? A smattering of other knights. that type of situation. This is a fair amount of mages. He's put this together because he's trying to match the death stack from Bone Nose Tribe, which presumably Bone Nose Tribe put that death stack together because they were slowly losing the war, right? So that means to me that this is the majority, not all, but the majority of Middenheim's forces, because you would want to put together a big enough stack to try to squish the other stack. I would assume he doesn't have a crazy amount in the capital, but it's still going to take us a few turns to get there, and I assume he has some in the capital. If he brings this back, and it becomes this plus what he has in the capital, plus what he's going to be able to recruit in the next 2 turns, then that becomes an issue. I don't know that I feel confident that this is going to be beaten with support by what we are bringing to the table. Which is why we're obviously continuing to recruit, and we're going to keep moving forces up here. Because if this ends up being a little bit of a longer war than we want it to be, already we have the economic advantage, I think, pretty handily. Middenheim has already been losing territory to Bone Nose Tribe. We have already taken more territory. We have very good scales, right? We've got the economic advantage. It's just a matter of, are we going to need to throw a bunch of fucking mages into this mix to actually get something done? So we'll see, right? Thaumaturgy 4, easy to clock out. We're actually going to run up blood magic after that, because we're probably going to start doing some blood hunting very shortly. And with our initial wave of blood hunting, we're probably going to do some bowls of blood, just to be super duper greedy and do every single site search, because I'm stupid. Ignore me. But we already have 2 blood acolytes in the capital and another blood acolyte in Balcoria. I don't think we have any others. We've got another one over in Traveler's Rest, right? Oh, we do have a water mage over here. Oh, we're summoning a flamer. I don't know why we're summoning a flamer. Probably just messing around. Belay that. Ignore that. Anyways, so yeah. Really looking forward to the next few turns. Really excited to see how this war turns out with Middenheim. Cross our fingers. Hope everything goes well. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye, everybody. Hey everybody, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, consider leaving a like, commenting, or subscribing. It really helps me out. If you'd like to see me live, head over to my Twitch at twitch.tv/thedistanthorizon.